started a new project. It's going to be a Japanese tea house. So I'm making use of this land that was just used as a rubbish tip basically at the back of the garden, where I used to dump all the old leaves and rubbish and rubble. So I've reclaimed it. So what I've done is just found lots of breeze block from around the rubble, laid them flat, and then all the other rubble just filled the 4 squares and put some soil on top of it. So there we have it, all filled in. Now all I've got to do when the timber arrives is start building the base of the Japanese tea house, and I'll show you exactly how I do it. But what I did do, I actually got a sash clamp and clamped those 4 lengths of 3 metres. I cut them down to 2.7, and then I cut out the half steps, so everything's totally equal. The 4x4s, so I cut down 2 inches and 4 inches in, and let's see how it all fits together. So there we are. So the base is fully assembled now. Okay, it's 2,700 square. So the next task I'm going to do is to start fitting the floor joists. And what I've got for that is 2x2 wood there, and that'll go around as the noggins, front and rear. Okay, and then in between I'll be putting 3x2 joists. Okie dokie, and then obviously I'll be fitting the timber floors. One thing I would say, that the joists will go not that direction, they'll be going from front to rear, since the timber floor will be going sideways as you enter the building itself. So there we have it. I've just measured all the joists up, lined them all up, and did a straight cut with the circular saw. They're all identical lengths, 2,455 I think the joists are. So the next thing is to tie them with some angle brackets. So as you can see, I've finished off putting all the noggins around the surround of the base. That'll help to support the floor. And what I'm going to do next is to put 2 supporting struts just across the actual joists themselves. That'll help just to stabilise the joist so they don't flex side to side laterally. So the way I'll be doing it is creating some half steps or half slots just in the top of the actual strut itself. So what I've done, I've marked out one of the supporting struts exactly to the same width as the joist. I've then divided it by 2 for the depth, which in this instance they are 2x2s. So I've marked it out 1 inch down, and then I've positioned the circular saw at a depth of 1 inch. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut slots out around about 4 to 5 mil exactly down the width of the strut, if you can see. And I'll cut it out, and that will create my step joint. The other length of supporting strut, I haven't cut to length yet. I'll cut that at the appropriate time. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark those steps right the way across, and then use a circular saw and do them one at a time. So as you can see, I've cut out the slots with the circular saw, and that's how it originally looked. So little slots, then I just simply moved the circular saw from side to side just to move them out. They're quite brittle anyway, so I wasn't putting too much tension on the blade. If they were any thicker than that, it would have been dangerous because it would have bent the blade. But they pop out quite easy, as you can see with my fingers. They're very, very soft. And when you move the circular saw from side to side, it just cuts it out nice and even, and you get a comparatively flat base to the half step. And you can see I've just left those two free so you can see them, and I've done these other two here. To tidy them completely up and get them to the correct dimensions, I'll finish them off with a router. And I'll show you that after. I'll position the supporting struts over the joist now in their exact positions. And what I'm going to do now is mark out on the joist exactly where I've got to cut the slot into them. As you can see, I've done one or two already. And okay. I'll do that to the remainder of the supporting struts, remove them, and then I'll just cut slots into them. Okay, I've let the floorboards dry over the last 2 or 3 days. I've taken them up again. I didn't want to nail them down initially in case they warped and shrunk. They are dry now, so I've just taken them out, temporary, but now I'm going to nail them to the struts and the noggins. So the way I'm going to do it is blind nail the floorboards, the Tongan groove, to these supporting members here. And the way I'm going to do it is to place the nail at a 45-degree angle just above the tongue. Tap it in. Okay. Right the way down. Now it's still protruding a little bit there, and if I don't knock it fully in, then the other floorboard simply won't go flush against the floorboard. So what I'm going to do, a little bit of a flat chisel, or drift I should say, not chisel, a drift, and knock the nail fully home. There you go, that's fully home. I'll do that on each of these supported members and cover the complete floor. That's it, that's all. Just here. One at the opposite end, my right hand side, and this board is then finished. And there you go, that's how you hide your nails when you're nailing Tongan groove floorboards to a frame. As I've mentioned before, I do use a expansion strip made of cork all the way down the side of the floor panel itself. So depending on the weather, if they get damp or hot, if they expand, then the floorboard itself doesn't buckle in the middle and warp. But the next thing I'm going to show you now is how to fit with a tongue and groove onto the previous one. So assuming you've cut your level floorboard to size, the appropriate size, fit it in between the expansion cork, fits just nice. And then what we have to do is make sure that the tongue and groove are fully honed. And what I use is a small cut off piece of floorboard, put it across. This prevents damage to the tongue, and then knock it fully home. You will find that some of the floorboards are slightly warped anyway, certainly with shed material. There we go. And once again, get the nail, hold it in. I won't use the drift on it just yet, not until I've hammered them all in. And then just go around with a punch to finish them off. I hold my hammer quite close down, I don't need that much weight, and I get more accuracy so I don't clamp my finger. Come on. Sunday morning. And the job's done. Except these two actually. I nearly missed them. There you go. Job done. I'll do that the complete length of the floor. So there's the base finished. I'm 3 floorboards missing. The supplier didn't bring them down, but they will be coming in the next few days. So what I'm going to continue with after this is a wall frame. However, that's the base finished. So at least we're getting somewhere now. So the next stage is to create the wall frames. So I've got the 2 sides, 4 4x4s, one for the right hand side and one for the left hand side of the house. And for where the wall posts go, I'm creating 4 half lap joints. So I've wound them all up, I'll fasten them together, and I'm just going to get the circular saw and cut out the slots.